Columbus, Georgia. This is your City Council. Mayor Teresa Tomlinson. City Manager Isaiah Hughley. Pop Barnes, District 1. Glenn Davis, District 2. Bruce Huff, District 3. Evelyn Turner Pugh, Mayor Pro Tem and District 4. Mike Baker, District 5. Gary Allen, District 6. Mimi Woodson, District 7. Tom Buck, District 8. Judy Thomas, Post 9 at-large counselor. Skip Henderson, Post 10 at-large counselor. Tiny Washington, Clerk of Council. And City Attorney Clifton Fay. Columbus, Georgia, this is your City Council.
All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the September 8th meeting of the Columbus City Council. We have a very full agenda for you today. So we're going to go ahead and get started as we always do. We ask for inspiration, and we ask for people in our community to come forward and present the invocation. And today we're so very honored to have Rabbi Beth Schwartz here from Temple, Israel. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, and we want to call her forward to bring the invocation consistent with her faith tradition.
Good morning. Each morning is a new opportunity to do well, to do good. Each morning is a new opportunity to experience the world through our bodies, our hands, our hearts, our minds, our soul. And so we begin each morning with gratitude to the Holy One who gives us strength, who gives us courage. May we take all of our skills and talents and use them for the betterment of our community. May God guide our hands and our heads as we do the work of our community to build Columbus to a strong and healthy place to live. May we be blessed in all that we do today and every day, as we say with gratitude, Amen.
Amen. Rabbi Schwartz, thank you so much for coming, and I want to thank you for all you do for our community. Among many things that you're involved in, you and Temple Israel are very involved in our 10-year plan to end homelessness in this community, so thank you. We see you out there toiling in the field, and we appreciate you very, very much. With that, we have a special treat. We've got the Rigdon Road Elementary School students here today, and so we're going to ask them to come forward to the clerk's table here. And as they assemble, I'm going to ask the rest of you all to please stand and join with us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ma'am, right. Let's go down some more. One to the end down there. Got it. Keep going.
I pledge allegiance to the Georgia flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wow, great job. And we definitely want to have you introduce yourselves. And so if you would, just give us your name and tell us what grade you're in.
I'm Nikildra and I'm in 4th grade.
I'm Torin and I'm in 3rd grade.
I'm Cameron and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Kamora Stewart and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Devasia Walker and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Reagan Bussey and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Azaria Colbert and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Sierra Tolliver and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Kalia Grover and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Ladea Jackson and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Alicia Ford and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Breland Bush and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Jemiah Turbin, and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Dasani, and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Pearl Adams, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Kayla, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Arya Ross, and I am in 5th grade.
My name is Charisma Star, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Kiera Walton, and I'm in 3rd grade.
My name is Sanaya, I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Jay, and I'm in 3rd grade.
Good morning. My name is Adriana, and I'm in 4th grade. My name is Precious, and I'm in 4th grade. My name is Shai, and I'm in 3rd grade.
All right, and we do want to also have you all recognize yourselves. Oh, did we skip somebody?
Good morning. My name is Andrea Horn. I'm the counselor at Rigdon Road Elementary.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zara Williams, and I am the academic coach.
Good morning. I'm Justine Spencer, and I'm a 2nd and 3rd grade special ed paraprofessional.
Thank you so much for having us this
Thank
morning.
you all for what you do every day, raising these next generation to be productive citizens of Columbus, and we're so glad to have you here. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you, ladies. We have a special presentation we want to call forward this morning. We have members of our Retiree Benefits Committee. They're on, I believe, the city manager's agenda, but they have a very special person with them today that we want to, frankly, commemorate her service. And so we're going to ask the members of the Retiree Benefits Committee to come forward, including their prior chair, Mary Stranger. And I also want to recognize Rhonda, is it Mobley, Rhonda? Davis, I'm sorry. Rhonda Davis, who's the new chair of the Retiree Benefits Committee. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Watson and let him introduce the rest of the folks.
Larry Campbell, he is the president of the Retiree United. That's Massey, who's been a friend of mine, and he's a member of the committee now.
Great.
Other than myself, I'm Billy Watson. I think y'all know me. It's going to be real short, but there's one thing I want to do. In February of 2011, this council created the Retirees Health Benefit Committee. It was a committee composed of 5 members, 4 appointed by the members of the council and 1 by the mayor. The mayor's appointee was to be chair of the committee. It was a shock to some of us when the mayor appointed someone other than a retiree. We wondered what type of person would want the position and how much effort they would put into it. I think that I can express the feeling of this entire committee by saying that Mayor Stranger is one of the nicest and caring persons I have ever met. If anyone that attended one of our meetings would have believed that she was just one of us. We have expressed our appreciation to Mayor at our last meeting. I want now to read a short letter that I want to go on record. It's a letter of appreciation to Mayor Stranger from members of the Retirees Health Benefit Committee. This is not only a letter of thanks for the effort that you put forth, but also the sincere interest and concern you showed for the retirees while serving as chair of our committee. There's an old saying, to have friends, you have to be one. True friends are friends that are willing to give of themselves without expecting something in return. They are hard to find these days and should be treasured. Mary, you are now and will always be considered a true friend of the members of the Retirees Health Committee. Sincerely, members of the Retired Health Committee. I've given a copy of that to the clerk. I appreciate that on record.
Thank you.
Just briefly, I've been very honored to work with this group, and so on behalf of myself and Synovus, it's been a great honor. And with Rhonda taking over, in great hands as well. So thank you all very much for all your support.
Well,
these folks are also some of the most caring folks I've ever worked with as far as looking out for their fellow retirees in the city. I was very honored.
They do a great job. But
Yes.
Mary, we don't want you to get away too quickly there. You really have been such a marvelous representative to this group and helped us as well. Certainly, one of our department heads, Aretha Hollowell, particularly wants to thank you, and we all do too. And so we have a certificate of appreciation we'd like to present you with if you'd like to come forward and receive this on behalf of your service.
I'll present our proposal now. In February 2011, this council created, I'm reading the wrong one. I done read that one time. In 2011, when the Retirees Health Committee was created, our insurance premium was $135 a month. Today, it is $137.92 with a maximum out-of-pocket expense of $1,000. We had two options for 2016. One was to keep the $1,000 maximum out-of-the-pocket expense. This would have increased the retiree's premium by $8.32 to $146.24, and the city's increased by $2.77. The other option was to increase the maximum out-of-the-pocket expense from $1,000 to $1,500. This would only increase retirees by $2.11, and the city's increase would only be 70 cents a month. We chose the $15,000 maximum option. We believe that that was the best, not only for the retirees, but also for the city. And that's what we're asking you all to approve today. There has been a tremendous increase in insurance premium throughout this country. However, over a 5-year span from 2011 to 2016, there has only been about $5 increase in retirees' premium. This was $3.75 for the retirees and $1.25 by the city. We have done this even with the $3 tax by the Affirmative Care Act and a $2.50 cost to remove the catastrophe drug section from our policy. We could not have done this without the tremendous help we have received from Northwestern Benefits Corporation. We're asking for y'all's approval.
All right. Is this, Mr. City Manager, this was on your agenda. Would you like to say anything?
Yes, ma'am. With what Mr. Watson has said, I have no further comments. I would just ask for your approval of the retiree insurance plan, and I think he's laid it out. We're requesting to modify the Medicare-eligible health plan benefits and the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage PPO plan by raising out-of-pocket maximum from $1,000 to $1,500, as Mr. Watson has said. The monthly rates increase from $137.92 a month to $140.03 for the city subsidized retiree group, and an increase from $183.89 a month to a month to $186.70 for the unsubsidized retiree group. And so these changes would become effective January 1st, and we're asking for your approval.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, all those in favor, please state aye. Are there any opposed? It is approved. Thank you all very much. Rhonda, again, welcome. And thank you for your willingness to serve. Thank you so much. We have one other group here this morning we're going to move up, only because I noticed and spoke with a few out there. They took off work this morning, and I don't think they fully appreciated the length of our city council meetings and where precisely they were on the agenda, which is pretty much dead last. So with that, I'm going to ask the Westville presentation to come forward, and I hope you'll return the favor of making it as short and sweet as you can and still be substantive. So thank you.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. We have the folks from Westville here. We have a brief presentation just to give you an update on where we're at with Westville. We came to Council a couple years ago, and there's a MOU that was entered with Westville back in August of 2013. So Laura McCool, who's our Community Reinvestment Division Manager, is just going to give a brief update, and then Westville has a brief presentation as well.
Good morning.
Morning.
August 13, 2013, council approved the city manager to enter into an MOU with Westville, allowing them to lease some property that was currently leased by Oxbow Meadows per Resolution 258-13. The MOU was executed on August 23, 2013. There's 3 tracts of land that's part of this MOU. Tract A, which is where the location of the Living History Museum will be, that land will be donated to Westville, and Westville will have 24 months to begin the normal operations per the original MOU. Tract B, which will be a 10-year lease, $1,200 per year, and that one will be where the lease, or Westville will actually use that for a for-profit. Tract C, which will be a 10-year lease as well, will be $1 per year, and Westville will be responsible for the maintenance and operation of the activities of Rend Lake. The MOU expired on August 22, 2015. That's the map that was presented to council in 2013 of the 3 tracts of property. And now Westville will give an update.
Thank you very much. I'm going to be real brief. Thank you, Mayor Thomason, Mayor and members of the council for inviting me to speak today. We're excited about coming to Columbus and wanted to share with you what we have accomplished to date. A committee of local leaders, members of the Education Committee, and our board and staff have engaged in a multi-step process to develop a new interpretive plan for the historic Westville that will be the foundation for our programs for years to come. Our vision for the site in South Columbus includes an emphasis on storytelling and will engage and connect a diverse community by challenging and transforming perceptions of the 19th century South. By using its historic structures and artifacts to illustrate our stories, Westville will explore the uniqueness of the Southern experience and their contributions to American history, politics, and culture. We have 30 historic structures: the historic Chattahoochee Courthouse, 2 churches, general store, several town buildings, shops, plantation houses, slave houses, a number of log buildings, including one of a Creek Indian construction. We have organized a strong team to guide the continuing planning and implementation. Aaron and Clements is our project manager, French and Associates, our landscape architects, 2WR and Associates as architects, and Solid Light as our interpretation design company. Our building moving company is American Low. We have been meeting with Georgia Power and other utilities to plan the logistics for the move. Preliminary work on the site has started. The brush has been cleared, and we have assessed the trees and have completed a topographic survey. We've continued to make progress with our fundraising plan, and we are pleased with the enthusiasm and support we're finding with the community. We're committed to the new historic Westville opening once we have raised all the money needed to bring Columbus a great learning and life-enriching institution. We are developing partnerships for future collaborations with our Columbus neighbors and the schools. The City of Columbus has received us warmly, and we look forward to being an integral part of this community. Thank you. I do have people with me.
Yes. Why don't you introduce them, or let them introduce themselves? Yes.
We'll start with Ryan.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Clements with Aaron and Clements. We're the project manager for the project.
Okay.
I'm Savannah Grandy. I'm the interpretive director at Westville.
I'm Darby Brito. I'm the Director of Public Relations and Marketing for Westville.
Good morning. My name is Jillian Wong, and I'm the Collections Manager at Historic Westville.
I'm Randy Whitt. I'm a member of the board.
And I'm Gloria Johnson, also a member of the board. Thank you for your attention.
Madam Mayor and Council, also on my agenda, the number 2 item is requesting an extension for 1 year of the memorandum of agreement.
We got a motion and second for approval. Is there any discussion on this item? Okay, and we do have it queued. Seeing no discussion, If you'll please record your votes electronically on the extension of memorandum. All right, and it passes. Thank you. And thank you all. Appreciate all your hard work and effort. It's exciting. Hold on a second. I'm not flipped over to that screen. Just a moment. Councilor Huff.
Good morning and welcome again. We just were having a private bar over here about discussion about you, the director. You did not introduce yourself to the public this morning.
I'm Leo Goodsell, the executive director.
Welcome.
Well, welcome. Glad to have you. And thank you for all you all are doing, and wish you the best of luck. It seems to be going very well, so we're all very excited about the progress. Thank you all. Yes. Can you show the vote back? It was 8-0. Can you flip the screen back to show the vote? There we go. All right. And Councilor Woodson.
To the director and to the Westville, I just want to say thank you as the district representative. That's something exciting and new for our district again, and something to show everyone that South Columbus is a great place to live and to be in the quality of life. And this is something else to show. So from the bottom of my heart and the people from District 7, we thank you for choosing our district, and we look forward to seeing you there shortly. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. You all have a good day, and thank you again. Next, we have the meetings of our June 23rd and July 14th council meetings. And there's a motion for approval and a second. Any corrections or additions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please state aye. Any opposed? All right. And we'll move on then to the city attorney's agenda. Mr. Fay.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Got a lot of items to vote on, and then we'll get to some budget amendments. The first item for a vote is a zoning at 4803, 4811 13th Avenue. It's ready for action.
Got a motion for approval. Is there a second? A second. Is there any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, if you would, please vote. Record your vote electronically. I think we need one more. There we go. And it does pass.
That has passed. Item 2 is property at 1120 Talbotton Road, going to general commercial. It's ready for a vote.
We have a motion for approval and a second. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, please record your vote electronically. Great. It passes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Next item is property at 5990 Warm Springs Road, going to general commercial. It's ready for a vote.
We have a motion and second for approval. Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, please record your vote electronically. All right, and it does pass.
All right. Looks like a 6-2 vote. It passes. We've got a next item is 5700 5710 Warm Springs Road, going to single family 4. It's ready for action.
Councilor Allen.
I just wanted to, for the benefit of council and for those watching and listening, a lot of concerns have been expressed over this site. My gut tells me that it should be developed residential. The concern I have is the number of lots there and the conditions that have been requested by the builder that we talked about last week. And for that reason, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that it be denied.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor that it be denied. Is there a second? All right. Councilor Thomas with discussion.
Mayor, I was misreading my agenda on the item on Warm Springs Road. Is it possible for me to change my vote?
Yes, Tiny, can you instruct us as to that? Now, this is to go back to item 3, which was called as the properties located at 5990 Warm Springs
Warm
Road.
Springs Road. Yes.
And there was a vote in the negative by Councilor Thomas, and she's asking that it be changed in the affirmative, and likewise, Councilor Woodson entered a no vote, and she'd like it changed to the affirmative. I'm sorry, hold on, Tiny, let me get you. Go ahead.
If one of those counselors who voted in the affirmative would ask for just a vote to reconsider.
Okay, we've got a motion second for reconsideration. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All right, and so now we call item number 3, which is properties located at 5990 Warm Springs Road. It's a proposed rezoning from neighborhood commercial to general commercial. And I'm going to cue it to vote. Is this the proper one? Please switch back to item number 3. Okay, and clear that if you could. Can you clear that? Okay, let's do this. We'll take it orally. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, and that concludes item number 3. And now back to item number 4, where we had a motion for denial by Councilor Allen, a second by Councilor Henderson, and we were open for discussion. All right, seeing no discussion, we have it queued properly, item number 4. And if you would, record your votes electronically. Yes, a yes vote is to deny. A yes vote to deny. Okay, and that proposal is denied.
Okay. Number 4 is defeated then.
Yes.
All right. Item 5 is a text amendment to the Unified Development Ordinance to add bicycle parking. It's ready for action.
Okay, this is a second reading of the text amendment. We've got a motion by Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Councilor Woodson. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, well, hold on a second. Please record your votes electronically. We need one more. There we go. Thank you.
Okay. That passes. Next item up is the amendment to the procurement ordinance to add a new Part D related to federal aid highway
We've got a
funding.
motion and second for approval. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, we will cue it to vote. Please record your vote electronically. All right, and
All
it
right,
passes.
that passes.
Thank you.
And the next series of items is going to be a series of first readings on budget amendments. These are to comply with the orders of the Muskogee County Superior Court Judge Fuller in the cases of Dar v. Columbus and Pierce v. Columbus. I think Ms. Hodge is going to come over and she's got some agenda report information. But let me say this before we get started. The merits of these cases have not been reached. These fees have been ordered by a Superior Court judge pursuant to a specific Georgia statute that allows attorney's fees for constitutional officers in certain circumstances. But the merits of the case, whether or not this council or local legislatures have the power to set annual budgets for all officers and all departments, that has not been reached. And of course, the law on that has not changed in 50 years. We're still confident that the Georgia Supreme Court will eventually rule that this council has power to set the budget for any constitutional officer. So with that, Ms. Hodge, you can give a preliminary on our first item here.
One further correction for Mike in the back. The ledger got it slightly wrong on Saturday, Mike. The fee, Mike was on vacation, he says. But the fee amount was never in contest as far as whether or not, or the fees themselves, whether or not the fees would be paid. There's a statute on point that requires that for constitutional officers. It was the method in which they would be paid that was in great controversy and remains so today. So, Pam.
So there are 4 budget amendments. There are 2 for FY15 and 2 for FY16. The 2 for FY15 for the sheriff is in the amount of $207,613.85. For the clerk of Superior Court, $147,304.04. For FY16, for the sheriff's case, $25,196.84. And for the clerk of Superior Court for FY16, $9,867. And these are budget amendments for fiscal year 15 and fiscal year 16. They are to appropriate monies needed for attorneys that were hired by the sheriff on his behalf to represent him or the clerk of Superior Court in litigation against the city. These are not recommended or approved vendors of the city. So under these circumstances, typically the payments are made out of the constitutional officer's budget. Over the objection of the city, the court has ordered that these attorney's fees come from the general fund and not from the constitutional officer's budget. The general fund in that context does not exist. So there's no pool of money labeled general fund in order to make payments from. So what we're recommending is that these expenses be classified as a claim in judgment and be funded from the reserve for claims in judgment. This is separate from the unreserved or unassigned fund balance. It is a reserve for claims in judgment. And so this budget amendment would appropriate funds from that reserve to pay for these attorney's fees that's been ordered by the court. I'll be happy to answer any questions on FY15 or FY16 budget amendments.
Doesn't appear there's any, let's see, we have, hold on a second, Councilor Baker.
Just trying to clarify, and I'm going to be very careful here because I'm really not comfortable discussing this in open council. Obviously, the expenditures have to be approved, but the discussion clearly involves ongoing litigation. So, Mr. Attorney, advise us if we're getting off track about questions because I really don't like what we're doing. But so the money exists within the city attorney's judgment fund, and what was never brought forth.
This is not part of our department.
So I'm trying to get clear where the money is coming from. We can't go down and print the money to do this. Where's it coming? Just clarify mechanically where.
Part of fund balance in total includes fund balance that's been assigned for particular purposes, and then there's unassigned, which is what we typically refer to as our 60-day.
Gotcha.
We have different reserves for specific purposes. Claims and judgments is one of those reserves that's been assigned. So what we typically do is evaluate all the cases that we have within the city for litigation against the city and establish a reserve to pay for those claims and settlements. This is not necessarily a claim or a settlement. These are ongoing expenses, but I feel like that's the best place to classify these expenses.
And that was my question. Is this an ongoing operating expense, or does it really, from your judgment, well, I'll just assume that it qualifies to come out of the assigned, which is different from the unassigned.
That's correct.
Which is what we typically refer to as the reserve fund.
That's correct.
So
I think it's the best classification we can come up with under the strictures we've been provided.
Okay.
Because otherwise we would have accounted for it as Pam laid out in her report. But that was not, the order said from general funds.
Well, that
yeah,
doesn't make
right,
any sense.
exactly. And so now we're trying
to
classify it in a way that
And we're contesting that assignment in the litigation, but unfortunately at this stage, we've got to find a place to comply with the judge's order, and this liability reserve seems the best place from a financial standpoint.
Okay. And that will not affect our so-called fund balance days that we typically account for and ask you to account for.
That's correct.
Okay.
And certainly not at this point. Now, if if there are other liabilities, which we have, or the reason why that reserve exists, as you touched on, is because per our auditor's requirements, we have assessed certain potential liabilities. And so if one of those comes in, for instance, there may not be enough money in that reserve to cover it, so.
That's right. But that's usually based on, there's usually some calculation of the odds that it will occur. You begin to prorate money for that.
Yeah.
Different from ongoing litigation expenses. That's
Yeah.
typically what are the odds that settlement will happen, and you work out an allocation to reserve that. So that's where I was getting confused. This really isn't a settlement. It's,
No.
it's changing funds to legal fees, which could be considered an ongoing operating expense. So anyway.
Yeah.
But thank you. I have some concerns about the way we've been told to do this, not what we're doing.
That's
the fact
right.
that the way we've been told to do it. It's different from, I realize we had an order to pay the fees, fine, but now we're being told how to pay the fees to a legislative body that has appropriation authority.
That's right.
That's
And one of our main legal arguments is that exceeds the scope of the Superior Court's jurisdiction to do that, to tell you where to take a particular bill and what account to pay it from.
And I don't know if we're setting some type of precedent
No.
or if this will be part of our appeal process.
We've reserved ruling on that matter for appeal.
Okay.
We have preserved that argument.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Thomas.
Ms. Hodge, as I understand it, these are two separate fiscal years, fiscal 15 and fiscal 16. In fiscal 15, it looks like the cost is about $355,000. And I am assuming that in the claims and judgment reserve, we have $355,000. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And will this then close out the claims from on attorney fees for FY15? Or can we anticipate, I know that for FY16, because the litigation is ongoing, there will be additional fees, but for 15, does this close it out?
My understanding is this is the amounts allocated for FY15, and there would be no additional attorney's fees related to these two cases from these two individuals for FY15.
For 15.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And typically, under claims and judgment reserve, would that be where we would pay a claim, for example, if a citizen sued the city because of an automobile accident caused by an employee? Is that this fund?
It could be charged to
Generally.
this fund, yes, that's correct. These are typically, we also have a risk management reserve, which is typically where vehicle-type payments are made or workers' comp payments are made. Those come from risk management. This would be more for general employment litigation,
Okay.
where a claim or a settlement would be made for those types of things.
And then for FY16, we're looking at about $35,000 so far,
That's correct.
and can expect more.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. City Attorney, I heard you say as an example, but your mic did not pick you up, that an example for this particular reserve fund would be something like a civil rights case or other employment-type law. Is that right?
Any liability that the city faces on a civil rights claim, employment claim, judgment would come out of this particular fund.
Okay. All right. So that's on first read. Anything
All right.
else?
That covers items 7, 8, 9, and 10. If there are no other questions, we'll bring those back in 2 weeks for a vote. And we do need a short executive session, Mayor, on real estate acquisition and disposal.
Great. Thank you. All right. And let's see, with that, we are going to go into the public agenda. Excuse me just a moment here. And first, we're going to call up Mr. Sami Saeed, who's representing the A1 Coin Laundry regarding flood issues. Mr. Said, if you'd come forward. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just right here, if you would, state your name and address, please.
My name is Sami Saeed, and it's my first time coming over here, so I apologize. Everybody's dressed up. I'm not. So I'm from a small town, and I went to city council meeting. It was really simple. Here is pretty, different. But one of the main thing I'm here for, and we had the laundromat over here for some time, and we have it's on the corner. It's on a slope. So one of the thing is, when it rains really a little harder than it's supposed to, all the water gushing from all the streets, and it's really get flooded in a way that the water comes in the store. And I really got videos and everything. If I knew everything, I would have submitted everything. But I apologize for it, and I appreciate you giving me a chance to speak for this opportunity. So I'm going to submit the video. Plus, somebody called me from the city hall that she's going to be coming today to inspect it and see the issue. One of the reasons I was really worried about putting this issue on the agenda was that the water gets so high that the car is really halfway through when the car is parked on the street. Plus, there are kids who come in the laundromat, and there are folks who don't listen that the water is deep enough, and there is a drainage right over there where the water gets flooded. So you really cannot see the drainage. So it's a liability for the business and the city for folks to go there and move their car, not seeing the drainage location. They can get in that hole. So it's really making me worried, and I really had to put this on agenda about the kids been going over there, and the water guts in the store. So the street is already high, 2 or 2.5 feet, plus the water comes up, and then it gets in the door and go all the way in the laundromat. It's right all over the laundromat. So it's really something with that sincere concern about the people, pedestrians, and the people who come in the laundromat. It's really kind of hurting the business too, for folks to be worried about their parking, the cars, plus, the water coming in, the safety issues. But, we've been trying to talk to the landowner for a while, but he haven't done anything. So finally, I had to step up and put this on the public agenda for the city council to put this on record that I was here. And this is one of the concern issue for the city. And I guess that's all about it, and I would appreciate your giving me a chance to come here and express it. And sincere prompt reply from you all. Thank you very much.
Sure. Let me ask you, Mr. Said, where again is this, is the laundry? Can you give us the address?
4301 Holly Avenue.
Okay. And you said someone had been in touch with you from our staff.
Yesterday, I forgot the name. Yesterday.
Yeah, good. Oh, yesterday.
So
okay.
She said you still come to the agenda. Let them know what you want to say.
Okay.
But I'm going to be coming there to see what you're talking about, just to make sure. And one of the things I was really worried, the whole of that drainage is really big for a good, for a 10-year-old or 11-year-old kid to gush in.
Okay.
With the flow, with that kind of flow coming from the slope.
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, we appreciate you bringing this to our attention. And secondly, I'm so glad somebody's already been in touch with you. I can assure you they'll be out to take a look at that. I'm sure it's somebody probably with our engineering department or stormwater department. They know about these things. And so they'll get with you, take a good look at it. And if there's any action that needs to be taken, certainly they will let us know. If you have any continuing concerns, you can, of course, contact the city manager. You can dial 311. You can ask for the mayor. And so hopefully we can get this resolved in a way that's satisfactory to you, okay?
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. That's all I need.
Thank you very much. All right, next we have Robert A. Hutchinson, who's here to talk with us about the golf course budgets. If you would just state your name and address, please, sir.
My name is Robert Hutchinson. I live at 6216 Bayonne Drive, Columbus. I've been a resident since 1993. The article in the Ledger Enquirer of July 19th, 2015 was a must-read for everyone in this city council. It is absolutely accurate in what was going on at the time, what promises were made at the time, and what acknowledgments were made at the time. it's kind of interesting. My very first day in Columbus, Georgia, was split with my new job. I was transferred from Los Angeles, but my boss from Atlanta brought his golf clubs down because he wanted to play our golf course, Bull Creek. Now, Bull Creek was recognized as one of the best golf courses in the country. We've forgotten about it, and I really appreciate Skip pointing it out in this article and reminding us about what a good golf course it is and what a great asset it is for this community and how important it is to keep it up. Now, I was involved with the creation of Oxbow Creek and the program down there, and I met with Mr. Bishop about 5 or 6 times in the old Park and Recreation building down at Golden Park. I had an idea, a vision of a tribute golf course. Since it was going to be 9 holes and it was going to be hard to make money, I picked out 9 of the most famous holes in golf, including the 18th hole at the old course at St. Andrews, the 16th hole at Augusta National, the 7th hole at Pebble Beach, and I put together a tribute course so that when you played it, you would be playing something very interesting and playing holes that you'll never get to play in real. And I brought the idea to the council, and they said, well, how many golf courses have you designed? And I said, none. Said, well, the people we have in Atlanta doing this are doing it. And I said, well, that golf course is never going to make any money. It's going to lose money every single year. And the city manager and everybody said, yes, we know. We're going to subsidize it. We made a promise to the community in South Columbus community when we took Victory Drive away from them and built the softball. We made a commitment and we're going to keep it. And I really appreciate the people who have the memory that we have to do that. We have to, because believe it or not, there are some people who don't believe that you really mean the commitments that you make. I happen to think you do. And I think you have to stand by it. And I just want to thank the Ledger-Enquirer, one, for doing this remarkable article. And I would like to see every single one of you have a copy of it and keep it so you know what happened before. I'm used to having my suggestions not taken, but I want to make one right now for that golf course. We want a tribute right by the Infantry Museum. Why not have number 4 hole Patton, General Patton? Why not have Dwight Eisenhower, number 8? And then ended up with the old course at St. Andrews, because the 9th hole at Oxbow Meadows can be simply made into a duplicate of that hole to finish off the golf course and give it an identity that it doesn't have now. One other suggestion strongly to be made. Right next to that golf course is a hotel, and it has windows, and you could look out at the golf course and in less than 5 minutes go from the lobby of that hotel to the first tee. We need to exploit that, but we need to take a few trees down so somebody looking out the window can see the golf course and realize, hey, I'm this close away. Anybody who owns a hotel would love to have a golf course right next to it, especially when it's a 9-hole golf course that you can play in an hour and a half or 2 hours. We need to get this asset performing. A little bit aside, I did take 6 sets of golf clubs down to the golf shop down there for the purpose of being loaner clubs. Left-handers, women's, right-handers, all sorts of clubs. And then I let the hotel know that they were available at the golf course free for the people staying in their hotel. so that somebody at the hotel who had 2 hours to kill in the morning because there's something going on in the afternoon would have an opportunity to come to that golf course and use it. And that's what I want golf courses to happen. I want golf courses to be used instead of left alone, because every week in this country we're closing 4 golf courses. Last year, 11 golf courses were built. We have 2 outstanding golf facilities, and I think it's a small investment to keep them going and keep the promises to the citizens of this Columbus. Thank you very much for your indulgence and concern. And Skip, great job. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate your interest in our golf courses. Councilor Huff.
Good morning. He hasn't come back. He's gone. Excuse me, sir. I just want to personally say thank you for coming this morning and bringing all of this back up again. We have some people in the public that have spoken with me over the last 2 or 3 years that had a little amnesia about what was promised to Oxbow. And Oxbow was a deal made that it's a group of golfers that have been playing for a long, long time. And they couldn't get 18 holes, so they ended up with 9. So it's just an asset that needs to be protected. I love your ideas. I will get with the clerk and get your information and give you a call.
Excellent. Thank you. And, one other thing. I knew that the Victory Drive Golf Course had to be closed because I played it about 6 or 7 times. Statute of limitations run out, right? Good. There were no fences along that Victory Drive. And I'm pretty good with my 7-iron, but my driver is a little wild. And I bounced a few golf balls off Victory Drive. And I don't know how many had to hit windshields before the lawsuits would come into the city and you'd have closed the course anyway. I mean, that was a wonderful little golf course that's time was up. Liability would have killed you.
Yeah, it was a lot of sidebar going on back during that time. That they
had simpler, easier. The budget was cheaper.
Yeah, they had to learn to play really well.
Huh?
I said they had to learn to play really well back then.
I have never learned to play very well.
Thank you.
Still try.
All right, we've got Mayor Pro Tem.
One of the things I would like for us to do is to take his recommendations and send them to the Golf Authority and find out to get the take back on that from them.
So that was a referral to send it to the Golf Authority?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right, good. Councilor Woodson. Sure.
City Manager, just to piggyback on that request, can we look at or see if there are companies or individuals that would like to sponsor the rebuilding of those holes and naming them? That will bring in some financial support for the Oxbow Meadows. So in the process of sending it to the board for review, maybe that's something they can review also.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilor Woodson, I think Mayor Pro Tem's idea of sending it to the Golf Authority and having them provide feedback would be the first step. And then if they are interested in that, then certainly I would hope that members of the Golf Authority would be the ones who would then be able to approach companies and try and gain that support that they would need to move it forward.
Because I think it sounds like a good idea, but I'm thinking of the financial portion of it.
Sure.
How will we, support it? How will we pay for it? Because if I understood the presentation correctly, and I'm not a golfer, So I don't know, but these supposedly holes are very famous or look a Pacific way. If that was to occur, that means that we would have to, have a financial situation occurring then. And also, if we're removing of any trees, we really need to look with our tree ordinance and so forth and so on, because we want to make sure that our greening isn't disturbed completely. That is the whole beauty of saving some of our trees. So why it's a wonderful idea, there's other mechanisms that I would like for us to look at also. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you. And that takes us to the city manager's agenda. So with that, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. And we've already handled items 1 and 2, and actually items 3 and 4 are related to condemnation related to the streetscapes project for Winton Road. We brought you one parcel of property at the last meeting, and now we're bringing you parcel 7 on number 3 and parcel 21 on item number 4. And these will, like the one we brought you before, would actually pay money into the court because we are unable to resolve the matter with property owners at this time. And when the matter is resolved, the court will have the money to handle the property acquisition or easement that was used. And so we typically do this with road projects when we're unable to resolve matters on a timely basis so that we can keep the project moving forward. So we do ask for your approval on these 2 parcels.
All right, we have a motion and second for the 2 parcels, 7 and 21, as the city manager has set forth. Is there any discussion related to this item? Seeing that there's none, we will cue it to vote, and it is. If you all would record your votes electronically. Great, and it passes.
Okay, then I've got on number 5, condemnation of parcel 33 for the roundabout at Fort Benning Road, Casita Road, and Brennan Road that we're asking you to allow us to move forward in a similar way that I just explained with Winton Road.
We've got a motion and second for approval for a condemnation of parcel 33 for the roundabout at Fort Benning Road, Casita Road, and Benning Road. We have discussion from Councilor Huff.
Mr. City Manager, same question I had last week. Everything's good with the property owners and everybody?
Well,
everything's been worked out?
We have the inability to reach a reasonable settlement at this time. And so, of course, the money for what we believe to be a reasonable settlement would be paid into the court. And once the matter is resolved in the court, then we will pay whatever that settlement is at that time.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. With that, there is no further discussion. If you all would please record your votes electronically. And it passes. Thank you.
Then number 6, I've got a lease agreement for 450 Brennan Road, requesting to lease this property for $308 a month. It's a 1-year lease to Reggie Automotive for a mechanic shop. It was previously used for a mechanic shop there on Brennan Road, and that tenant moved out in May, I believe.
A motion and second for approval. Go ahead. We had Mayor Pro Tem and was there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All right. And then we have Councilor Woodson had a question.
Okay. But as I said, it was leased before to E-Man Trucking, but the business vacated in May, and then in July, this interested party came forward wanting to lease the building for similar use, and we've had it inspected by our inspections and codes, and it meets all the requirements, and so we're asking your approval on this lease.
I had one question. Is, on this partial right here, do they have a fencing? I think I know where this is, but I'm not sure. Do they have a fencing around this piece of property?
Do you
I
know,
just, with all the work that we're doing, I just don't want to put unsightly things in that area. I want to make sure that, you know, it's contained, it's kept clean,